This guy's like a straight up predator, man. In his car right now. I know, I'm zooming in. Look, what do you think they found in his car? Uh-oh, what do you think they found in his car? Hey, thank you, Jay-Z, for the 20, bro. I have 5 grandchildren and 3 grandchildren. Thank you. Thank you. I very much appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support, everybody. We drove 3 hours to get here, guys. I can't zoom in. Yeah, this one was a little sketchy, man. This guy was sketchy as hell, bro. I told you, buddy. I told you. You should have just had a conversation with me. Otherwise, cops wouldn't have came. I told you, brother. I told you, man. Hey, Alex. I told you, brother. Well, you're not my brother. You're a piece of shit. But I told you should have had a conversation with me. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got the.
That's a huge fucking accusation.
You're not. Oh, wait. You're not. You got caught. Are you really doing this? You're here to meet a 13-year-old.
Solicited photos. There's somebody here.
Are you really doing this?
Yes. Okay, it's.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up?
No fist bump?
I don't fist bump people like you, man, to be honest.
So before we get into any of the messages right here, I have 84 messages. Okay. So we have you talking to Sophie, correct? Yes or no? Right. Okay. Sophie is how old? Before, and again, I have it right here. I know the answer, but I just need you to tell me the answer. How old is she? 13. 13, okay. And before we get into the messages, there was content involved, yes or no? Okay. And you correct. Okay. Oh. So again, so what brings you out here today? Well, I was coming out here
The sun is shining. You should too.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home. There was, nothing that was one of the involved because I'm not like that, well, obviously the text messages and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was all that was going to happen. Oh, okay, so you should title a video, instead of, your video almost threw hands with a 13-year-old, you should title your video almost 13-year-old. I think that'll get a lot of hits, EDP. I think so. Yeah. So this is you texting all this, correct? This is your Instagram, yes or no? Right. Okay. All right. So again, what made you start this conversation with this said 13-year-old? You said what you doing right here, correct? Yes or no? Right. Okay, go ahead. Well, she messaged me, right? And She messaged me, and I'm not going to lie to you, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, person feels lonely and stuff, and they want the interaction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what had happened.
Okay, so this isn't what happened because she never said she was lonely right here, correct? Yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, and you did double text her, yes or no?
Correct.
Knowing, and it said on her profile 13, yes?
Correct.
Okay, so you initiated the conversation with a 13-year-old knowing she was 13, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, so is that a good look for you?
No, it's not.
Okay, so you've been exposed for this before.
Correct.
And you called them these other girls, and you know what? I've been following for a long time, and you know what? I said, you know what? He probably made a mistake, and you know, there are some attention-seeking ones, but this is damning. I had to make sure myself. Do you recognize me?
No.
Okay. I had to make sure myself that all these rumors were true. It sucks, man. I watched you in high school. Me and my friend Keyshawn thought you were hilarious, man. It's sad.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
But anyway,
Quick question. How long will this interview be?
you don't get to determine that.
Well, like, what I don't understand, why are you attracted to like 13-year-olds? Like, why are you attracted to underage? Because you clearly said in one of the screenshots that you've always wanted to be with someone younger. Like, you like fantasize about being with someone younger, and you're scared of being a sting operation or a cops. Like, what goes through your head? What makes this okay for you? Because this is disgusting. Like, for real, man.
What goes on is loneliness, dude. I'll be completely honest with you, man. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to, you know.
Like, let me cut you off right there, okay? When you say loneliness, like, we've heard that millions of times, right?
Right.
Trust me, this is not our first time doing this. We've confronted hundreds of people, and every single time some of them do say they're lonely, and sometimes we do understand that they're lonely because maybe they're not as popular or they're not as outgoing, but you have millions of followers. Like, how are you lonely? You have like millions of followers. I bet you there's chicks in your DMs trying to hit you up. And you're here for a 13-year-old.
And I recall,
like,
you know, I followed you for a while. I recall a few years ago you did brag about having a girlfriend. You also in a live stream bragged about this little affair that you had with a teacher. So you probably have you have a ton of females in your DMs interested in you because, you know, people like you for your personality and whatnot. And, you know, and then when you say specifically, I've always fantasized about someone younger with a big age gap. You did say that, correct? Yes or no?
Correct.
That you fantasize about someone younger.
Correct.
What is that fantasy? Because it's not just loneliness.
You know what it is, man.
We honestly, we really don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're not like that. We're not like, we're not attracted to minors.
Bro, come on, man. You know exactly what it is, dude. Okay.
No, we're attracted we're attracted to female our own age, dude. This is sick.
Let this be known. I am not.
So what are you then? If you're here to meet up with a 13-year-old girl after sending your pic to her, then what do you call it then?
I am a guy that is. What am I?
If it takes you this long to answer what you are, you're pretty sure that you're some type of creep.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be real with you, okay?
Okay, I want you to be real with me because this ain't cool.
I'm gonna be real with you, okay?
Yep.
My mom, may she rest in peace. You guys know that, right? You guys see the videos.
I know.
Hold on. My mom did not raise a okay? She did not raise a creep or I know what the screenshots say, okay? I'm aware of that. I'm looking right at them, okay? My mom did not raise, and as a matter of fact, if she was here with
Your mom has nothing to do with this, honestly. Don't bring your family into it, because we're not here for your family. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't drag your family into this. This is all about you.
Understood.
This is your action.
Yeah.
This is not cool. And one other thing, let me tell you something, okay?
What's up, real quick?
What does EDP mean?
Yeah, it looks like you.
So you.
Looks like you didn't any.
Oh,
You know
what
what?
I'm saying.
Okay. You know what? We're gonna talk to you.
We're trying to talk. Okay.
You guys,
Yeah. I'll come, mate. I'll talk. We're sure to talk to you. So what was? So you said you know exactly what I mean. What do we mean?
No, what does EDP mean? Why do you call you, if you call yourself EDP? You know what's funny? What? What's,
At the very
this is not funny at all. This ain't funny.
Well, if you would stop cutting me off and trying to
Okay,
explain.
okay, so we're gonna let you explain now, because we want to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm a fan of you. He's a fan of you. He's a fan of you.
Honestly, I'm not a fan, but
Well, he used to be. He used to be, and we want to give you the benefit of the doubt. So please explain it to us, okay? Now I'm gonna be done talking, you know, that way to you. I'm just here to talk to you, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does EDP stand for? Right.
When I first created my YouTube channel, right?
Lights is off, please. Thank you.
When I first, well, you're gonna have to see me because the sun is in my
Yeah,
eyes.
here, we can just face that way.
just turn around here.
Whichever way.
Whichever way the sun's not in your eyes.
So when I first started my YouTube channel, right? If you go back, you look at the original logo,
Yeah.
right? It was a picture of a cat. I'm sorry, it was a picture of, Pac-Man, right?
Right.
It was a picture of Pac-Man eating a cat.
Okay.
It was supposed to be funny.
Okay.
That's what my original
Okay.
logo was meant to be.
Okay, fair point. So again, you mentioned to admitting to having this fantasy with someone with a big age gap. So again, you said to us, you know exactly what we mean, but I truly don't. He truly doesn't. So what do you mean by that?
I have a
Please.
quick question.
Sure.
Are you guys a cop?
No, we're not cops.
We're not cops.
You're not cops?
But
We're
we
not
have worked with
absolute,
law enforcement.
but we can forward this to cops because
Yeah, absolutely.
most definitely this is not your first time either, right?
Right.
This is absolutely not. How many times have you done this?
This is my first time.
You just said it wasn't your first time, and now you say it is. Second time?
What was the first?
So the first time was, so you guys know about the 15-year-old, right?
Yeah.
So she was hitting me up through DMs in which she engaged first.
Right.
Right? Because let's be real here. A lot of people, right, when they see celebrities, like the check marks and stuff, and no, I'm not trying to sit back and throw a guilt trip and make people feel sorry for me. I'm not doing that. So don't.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't try to, turn and twist the shit. I'm not doing.
Yeah.
that, okay?
Yeah. Just go on.
So when people sit back, right, especially young girls, right. The 15-year-old, not the 13-year-old. When they see people with check marks and stuff, this and that, you know what I mean? Like you're famous, you're hot, all that. Okay, that's what they do. Now, as far as the whole fantasy goes, you know what I mean? Let's be real, okay? You know what I mean?
Like that's the part where I'm not picking up on. I genuinely don't know what you mean.
Fantasy, that's what I mean.
Okay, so. And I'm not calling you the P word, if you know what I'm talking. You know what I mean. I'm not calling you the P word, but do you fantasize about females under the age of 16? Yes or no? Sometimes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you obviously you fantasize about a 13-year-old, correct? Yes or no?
Correct.
Okay. So if it's 13-year-old, so when was the first time you fantasized about like an 11-year-old?
Never.
Okay, let's move aside because the car's coming.
Sure.
Get killed.
Do you mind?
Yeah, just right here. Yeah, you can have a seat if you want. It doesn't matter to us.
Let's go. I'll stand.
Okay. So 13-year-old. So again, when was the first time you fantasized about a 12-year-old?
Never.
Okay, so 13 is the youngest.
Right.
Okay, so why 13 but not 12?
I don't know.
Okay.
And that's the truth.
Okay.
Not
But,
lying to you.
like, so if Sophie was 12, what would have been your response?
Probably would have went to the fucking bathroom and threw up.
Okay, so what? Okay, so for me, like,
You don't have to believe me, bro. You can sit back and solve.
right.
Real.
So for me, say
Well,
my
you just lied a couple minutes ago. You said it was your first time, then you said it wasn't your first time, then you said it was your first time.
Right.
Like,
Second time.
I know, but you said earlier it was your first time. Like,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, so we'll get to that. So you said, so 13 is a fantasy. Like for me, okay, 18, I think there's hot 18-year-olds. I wouldn't do anything with a 17-year-old,
Right.
but there's hot 17-year-olds.
Right.
But I don't go, yeah, when I see a 17-year-old, I'm just like, I can't do it. Like, it's just not right. But, so what about a 12-year-old makes you go, yeah, but a 13-year-old you're suddenly fantasizing about? Like,
Don't know, man. That's what you say, bro.
I just want you to be honest, man.
I am being honest. I don't.
So what about the 13-year-old turns you on, though? Like,
Don't know, man.
do you think that, does at least some of it have to do with being younger, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do have a suspicion of younger. That's what it's not normal, correct? Yes or no?
Not normal.
Okay. When do you think this started happening?
This started happening when a lot of when girls would hit me up, like I mentioned before, on Instagram. So I would say probably about maybe about
Just an opportunity to shine even brighter.
7-8 months ago.
Okay, 7-8 months ago.
Right.
So, when did you So what was it that made you realize? Like, for example, it's a bad analogy, but you know, I didn't like avocados when I was young, but now I like avocados. So what made you just go, I actually like 13-year-olds?
What made me when all that came into play, you know what I mean? Like I mentioned before, the entire loneliness and the actual, you know, like, oh, girl might actually be into me and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Right, but the thing is, if it was a 12-year-old into you, you would have brushed that to the side.
Of course.
So, you know, like, if there's a hot 19-year-old into me, I'm like, oh, awesome. But if there's like, I shouldn't say there's such thing as a hot 12-year-old, but if there's a 12-year-old into me, a 13-year-old into me, I'm like, disgusting. I would never. So what makes it okay to you for you to come here?
It doesn't make it okay. I'm just being honest with you. It doesn't make it can make it okay. I was in the wrong, and I'm a piece.
Right, but what makes you interested though? Because you have girls hitting you up, so it's not the loneliness. So what about 13-year-olds makes you interested?
Can't even answer it for you.
Okay, so obviously you like big.
Of course.
Okay, I do too. So
I mean, what a guy doesn't. I mean, let's be fair.
Right, exactly. So, you know, 13-year-olds aren't developed, correct? Yes or no?
Correct.
So is part of it that they're underdeveloped? Is that a turn on to you when you're thinking about that stuff?
No.
Really?
No, I didn't turn on at all.
So what made you send her a video of you, you know, doing it?
Don't know, man.
Okay.
You know that's a crime, by the way. You know that.
I'm
Let me tell you what the crime is. Okay? It's called sending harmful matter to a minor. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I'm just letting you know because we've done this so many times. Sending harmful matter to a minor. You sent a graphic picture of your body right here in one of these screenshots. Did you not? Yeah.
I did.
You did?
I mean, you got the screenshots, of course I did. I mean,
But like, why would you send it to a 13-year-old? Like, and that proves that you were turned on by it. That proved that you were turned on by it because you sent a graphic photo.
You were hard when you were jerking it. Obviously, yes or no?
no. I mean,
So-
you can't judge when you're soft.
Right, exactly.
So what were you gonna do when you came here to this little girl's apartment and she's home alone? What were you gonna do?
Honestly, this is real. You guys can't believe this if you guys want to or not. She said that she was gonna bake me a cupcake. I was gonna want to or not. She said that she was gonna bake me a cupcake. I was gonna take the cupcake and go home. That's the truth.
So you came here. You drove like 30-40 minutes, right?
No.
20 minutes? 20 minutes. You came 20 minutes to this girl's house when she's home alone to pick up cupcake and go back home.
Yep.
And that's what you want us to believe?
I don't give a what you guys believe. It's
Well,
the truth.
that's
I know
the
I'm telling
truth.
the truth.
Okay, well, we haven't even gone into the messages yet, so these are going to be pretty damning. So before we get into the messages, the last thing that he was asking, go ahead about the second time.
Yeah, the second time. You've done this
First
before.
time, yeah.
Well, I mean, you've done this before. And you've never been, well, you've been caught, but you've been caught, right? Why did, all right, so what I don't understand is you've been caught before, but you continue doing it.
Right.
That means you didn't learn your lesson. So how do you, what makes us think that you're not going to do this again?
This shit right here.
This right here?
This shit right here.
So when you go back to your car and you go home, you're gonna just hop back on and keep doing this? Because are you talking to other minors on your phone?
No, sir.
No, not just the only minor ever right now on your phone.
Only one.
Only one.
Only one.
You sure about that?
Positive.
Okay.
But this isn't the first minor he's talked to before, correct?
Right.
And there was more than one minor because last summer I've had all these females reach out to me about you. And, you know, at first I was like, okay, attention more. Honestly, I was. But then I see more and more and more. And I see you saying, if anybody finds out about this, you're going to be in big trouble. Like, you're trying to intimidate them. And that's what you did today. You said it's not going to end well. So, again, what's the ballpark number of how many minors you talked to? Like, you know, obviously it's been 5. So, after 5, what would you say the number is? 6? 6 minors. Name them.
Let me see. Of course, there's Sophie. There's let me see. There was. I made a cameo for that one girl. Not sure what her name is.
I believe her name was,
Shut down.
what was her name?
Double kill.
Did you talk to her?
No, I didn't.
Ally has been slain.
Whoa, hold on, let me take that back, okay? I was making a cameo, right?
Okay.
And this is actually on video, so you guys can go back and look.
Okay.
So this guy sends me a DM, right? He's all like, "Hey man, yo, real man, I want you to make a cameo for my girlfriend. It's your birthday
Just
and
wanted to
stuff
walk
like
up to
that."
freak
I'm
out.
looking like, "All right, cool." And he wanted it for free. I'm looking like, "Man, that's dude. You're gonna have to like, you know, show me something like that, okay?" But okay, at the time, I did not know how old she was, and that's the truth, bro.
Her name was Lucy, right?
Was it? I'm not sure.
I believe so. I remember it because I have that screenshot somewhere on my.
Oh, okay, I did not know how old she was, dude.
When did you find out her age?
I found out her age after the guy told me. He's all like, "Oh, hey, bro, man, her girlfriend's like 14." I'm like, "Like, real talk, man."
Obviously, you didn't know what to ask because you're talking to a 13-year-old.
Right.
I believe you did know her age before, yes or no?
How old was that girl again? How old was the girl?
An ally
Which one?
has been
The one you're
slain.
just talking about right now. The
I
cam.
believe. Oh, you mean the cameo one, right?
The one where you talked about showing. You asked her to send you private pictures.
Probably 14, maybe 15. I'm not sure, but
So
that was
that's number 2.
right. That was after the fact. I found out how old she was.
Okay, okay.